about that time. Assemble and talk. No cap. It's a civil war. You thinking you worthy. You feeling like door. Smash that like button like Hawk, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here once again. If you're new to the channel, if you're not, this is the best podcast in the multiverse.
Facts.
Shout out to everybody watching. We are the Assemblers. I am Sluggy.
Real.
We are here. We never got to do a spoiler review for Ant-Man Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Right. By now you should.
Yeah, by now you should have seen it. So this is kind of cool that I guess we waited. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And before you go see it, check out our spoiler-free review. Yeah, bro. What do you think?
To start
not to like, what do you think? Like, nigga, I think a lot about the movie. What do you think? Nah, but,
I think it was a great movie. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah?
I'm gonna say it was a great movie. It was a good watch. I feel like the story was good. It probably was the best Ant-Man. Can I say that?
Probably was.
Probably was the best Ant-Man. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it was.
I think it was the best Ant-Man. And
I think it definitely was.
Yeah, I just think they did good. They gave me what fan service, the characters, stuff like that. You know, played a role. She was good. Mm-hmm. What you think?
Initially, like going into it, I wanted it to be like an Avengers level threat. Like I wanted it to be crazy. Then hearing King was gonna be like, so the main antagonist. 2 years prior, you know, it kept building up for me. And then I ain't gonna lie, King was my favorite Marvel villain.
Okay.
So I just love the whole time travel stuff, things like that. So honestly, I felt like I wanted it to be bigger than it was. So I was little let down, but nonetheless, even on the rewatch, when I watched it on the website, I went open the night to the theater. Then, you know, I go whenever I see something in the theater, I come back home. I feel no way of watching a bootleg after that.
Watch it at least 3 times.
Yeah, because I don't watch bootlegs if I never seen the movie.
Of course not.
In a great copy. You feel me? Like I had to see it in a theater or I've been seen that movie and then be like, oh, you know what? On a rewatch, I'll watch the bootleg. Right. But not to ramble. When I rewatched it a couple times, it was I enjoyed it. Like, you know, I got to see it a couple times at work. I threw it on. It was cool, but like I said, I just expected more. And one thing that really not bothered me, but I was like, oh, this is gonna bother a lot of people. So like I just looked at it like that. Kang didn't feel as threatening as Thanos did.
At all, I could say that. I could fully agree with you there.
Like Thanos' first introduction, he's already carrying Thor. You got to make a statement. Like, you feel me? He did that. Like, and the King didn't really make that.
He folded
but
Hulk.
I guess
Remember he folded Hulk?
He folded Hulk in that same scene. Had Loki scared and shit. Yeah. But King, I guess it played into the story of this movie particular because he was
the type of threat he was a threat.
He just didn't have all his power yet and stuff like that. Like he was trying to get the cube, the ball and everything. Like I just felt like, I guess that's But I know this is not the end of him. That's what I'm getting at. I know we're gonna see Kang again. Well, obviously we're gonna see Kang again, but I know when we see him the next time, he's gonna probably be like off the charts next time. They probably overdo it next time. You feel me? Like
I think it was a good introduction for him because I never knew about Kang. Like I remember prior to all this stuff, you were sending me various intel on Kang and seeing him like really beat up the assemble
in this show right here, the Avengers Assemble.
He was giving them trouble. He was giving them trouble, and
it was AssembleTime.
I didn't know what to expect. So coming to see the movie, it was definitely a little different. It wasn't the same threat. I'm not gonna lie, but he definitely was putting in work.
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't like though, the way they kind of then again, because the way they took him out, I was gonna say I didn't really like that. Like how the ants came, even though these are high intelligent level ants, not to spoil you or anything. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you saw it by now.
No, we spoiling this shit. We spoiling it right now.
Yeah, because the ants, it was like, come on, like for them to take him out at first, because he was giving him mad trouble, and when he first started doing the powers and he was wilding, the ants really took him out there, bro. I'm like, this how they gonna do it? That's why they needed that extra part when they did
that scene did seem a little cheesy because when they were swarming over him, I'm like, my son Thanos would never. Like that whole time, I'm like, my son
Ultron would never. Like a lot of niggas would never.
But it was Yeah,
That's like the only flaw, really.
You know what it
It's
is?
not
Since
even
they
a flaw.
ended with that, it made it all right. Whatever.
That's why they did good. They redeemed themselves. I was like perfect. Like they gave us a little extraness and
So let's try to we're gonna do like another maybe 10 minutes on this one maybe if so. Let's take it from the top. Let's start off from the beginning. Him, you know, he's walking through, he's living his life, and he's post Avengers, right? Like he's still an Avenger, obviously, but everybody knows y'all as the saviors of the universe and the world. So everybody liked them. You know, everybody likes you. You got rock stars.
Yeah.
And he's feeling that. You know, he's like, all right, thanks. You know, even though they call him Spider-Man and stuff, he's like,
he wrote the story, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. He had a book out.
oh, I heard that he was chosen by the Avengers
I heard something about that, too.
specifically
I think he
to
told-
tell the story.
That's dope.
Not to write a book per se, but
What?
they gave him the blessings. Like, yeah,
That's fine.
right there. But I mean, but who then? Because Tony, Nat, and Steve is gone.
Yeah.
And I had a realization the other day that was that as core MCU right there, bro.
Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff,
Roman.
Steve and Tony. Scenes with them alone, bro. They that used to they used to hold everything about the MCU.
Yeah.
I didn't say Thor or Hulk because they're kind of like mythical. Like it's like, you feel me? Like y'all beast and y'all can hold it down. We know y'all OP when y'all come, y'all hold it down, but we can't humanize with y'all too much, you know? We can't relate as a human. So with Nat, Steve, and Tony, it made me realize the other day when I shared that post, I was like, damn, bro, no lie. Nat, Tony, and Steve, they was the ones. They was the core. They was the core.
He was.
And they left at the same time.
Ironically. I
Yeah,
never thought of that.
like 30 minutes apart from each other. They were, damn.
That's crazy. I mean, to start it off, I think it was.
But that was a good introduction.
They
But
did good with him.
right after that, what happened? Then he goes and he's like with his daughter. He had to get his daughter from jail.
I liked his
and stuff.
daughter role too. I didn't think I would like it because I have actually watched part 2 before watching the last one, Quantum.
And if y'all don't already assume to do that, y'all should do this. This is I'm not trying to play y'all nothing, but
It feels better. It gives you extra.
yeah, when you about to watch a movie, it feels like you going to the theater. You like anticipating this movie. You know, you bought your tickets. If you got a couple free days before that, watch whatever sequels they got.
Yeah.
Like for the MCU, let me say, I'm not saying watch the whole 29 movies before, 30 movies before. No, if it's what I do, if it's an Ant-Man movie, I watch every movie Ant-Man was in chronological order.
That I gotta tap into that.
Yeah, that's the best way, bro.
Even when you did that with Spider-Man before with the scenes in and out. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and like with Spider-Man, when I was about to watch No Way Home, I watched every movie Spider-Man was in, right, in MCU, and then I watched. You can't, cause all right, you're gonna be like, do I watch the whole Civil War and the whole Infinity War and the whole Endgame again? If you want. But for me, I just went to them scenes that he was in and watched those. And it's cool because like in Civil War, he's only in like that one scene when Tony go gets him. And then shortly after, that's when they go have the battle in the airport. And then after that, he's not in the movie. So Civil War, you can go for like a nice 30-minute chunk and just catch his whole everything. Infinity War, he's kind of in that whole movie, so you can just watch Infinity War. I never have a problem with that because that's my favorite movie ever.
Come on, these are one of the
Yeah, so, and then Endgame is great because he's not in it all the way until they snap and come back. So, and after they snap too, when Thanos already done smoke all of them and Cap is not even there, know.
Yeah, he's running
So
around.
you could do it this way. That's the way I'll be doing it. Like with Thor, I watch all the ones that season and shit like that. Like
Even if you
anybody.
watched the one before though, at minimum.
And it's cool to watch it like that too, because it's like little arcs in the whole grand arc. Like you could pull anybody out and you could just do that. And I did that with Wanda to watch WandaVision, and I did that to watch rewatch WandaVision to watch Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So
And that's dope too. I know it gives it the oomph. And opens your eyes to certain things too. You be like, wow, I forgot about that, and you know, going to movie blindsided. Like Murdoch, that was so perfect, bro.
Yeah, Murdoch.
You know, if you watch Ant-Man from the beginning till now, and then you go and see the movie, you really appreciate and understand that character.
And Yellow Jacket is kind of easy to forget, especially the guy in the Yellow Jacket.
That's
Darren
exactly what
Cross,
happened to me.
The actor himself playing it, like that was easy to forget in the movie. And so it's great that you watched it. Because I always say, yo, you should watch it. You do or you don't.
But I by now I'm an assembler, so this
Do
is
his
like
thing.
things we have to do. But most definitely, it's worth doing that. It gave it the inf, and the movie felt good for me. Like like the same way I felt when I saw Black Panther. Like I had a fresh new feeling, and it was like, wow, this is good. Like,
So what you was gonna say about the daughter?
oh, the daughter, I liked her because I didn't think I was gonna enjoy her being older. After seeing her young and stuff, and cute innocence and stuff like that. Now she was a little bit more like a diva and attitude, rebellious. So it was like, But it was actually enjoyable, man. It was actually just, her role
character was
very
great.
needed,
Yeah.
and she was very smart too. I'm like, damn, these kids are smarter, and the new Avengers is mad smart, bro. Like, they all like Tony Stark. They all take.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
That all of them are smart.
Yeah, everybody can't be smart because
Yeah,
you take
it's
away
true though,
from
but
some,
they real smart though, bro.
not from Tony, but you take away from smartness itself. Like,
'Cause
everybody's
Ironheart
intelligent.
hurts.
Ironheart is OD,
And then this girl's
everybody's
clearly
OD.
smart though.
But what
bro.
they gonna do when
no quantum physics.
when
You know what it is?
what's her name? Damn, I forgot his daughter's name, man. I said last time the same thing. I was just reading it. Anyway, Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic's
Mr. Reed.
daughter. When his daughter come, what they gonna do?
'Cause that's the thing.
she's mad smart too.
They just trying to make everybody the best at in their position, which it makes sense. But then they all having the brains though. It's like everybody's Spider-Man with the critical thinking.
Look,
and
he's
genius.
mad. He's right. We can let's go back to the. I like the daughter, right? I thought I wasn't really gonna like it for the same exact reason you said. Honestly, not to take your whole style, but
That's how true it is though.
I like the fact that they got sucked into the quantum realm off rip.
Yeah.
And it take no more than 7 minutes for that to happen. Like, that was mad cool. I like that.
Excuse me,
By the
pardon.
way, the quantum realm itself, they bodied it.
Amazing.
Yeah, they did that. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see it one more time before like we move on to past this whole.
I think we all, man, because Kang seems to be embedded with that shit. And one thing that was real cool, man, I don't know you peep, it kind of gave me the Strange feel when you saw Doctor Strange when he first jumped off the balcony with the suit and everything. When Ant-Man put his suit on and we didn't know really, I didn't know he had it on him.
Yeah.
And that shit was mad cool to me because it's like hero shit. You should have your suit with you, bro.
Yeah.
That's like not having your ball shorts before you, like, it's about to go down. Like, he really, that was fire, bro. Because this girl was prepared. She always in her bag. Wasp.
Yeah.
But
My son, you know who the originator of that, right? I just thought of it right now.
having a suit?
Who's the originator of that? Always having their suit
And all realms?
under their stuff.
I'm gonna either say Bats, Spidey, or Soups.
Nah, Superman for
Superman,
sure, right?
yeah.
My son is always for sure.
Superman always had it.
Start taking his stuff off. My fault for moving the mic. I probably heard the static.
Nah, but you're right though. As I love to read, Superman been around for a long time, so I would give it to
Yeah,
him.
but that was cool.
I love that scene though. That was really cool when they first showed him. It was like wow, like
I do like how they split them up too. Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Like it was the moms. It was Wasp with her parents, and then it was this guy with his parents. I mean, with his daughter. Sorry.
I love the roles. Pin plays and this girl plays.
Oh, the
bro.
wife. Yeah,
but
they was definitely.
Pin already, you could tell he's the original Ant-Man. That shit is just mad cool, bro.
Yeah.
He do his thing. It's like having like Tony Pops around or something. Still. Like that shit is
Yeah,
mad
that's a good
appreciative,
one.
bro.
That's a good
Because
one.
that you don't get that, and it's like a gem. He's the original Ant-Man, bro, and he do his thing. Like regardless in the movie, he's mad smart. He's mad brilliant to have around. It's like yo, this is perfect. He's very useful character.
That's why I
like
like
what
the
they did with
ants.
him. No, yeah, I appreciate the ants.
They
I
shouldn't
appreciate the
have
ants.
had the scene that they took down King. I agree with that. But when they first explained the ants before we see them at the end of the movie, when they first explained them, he's like, yeah, these and Ant-Man's like, wait, hold on,
They
that's
found
technology? He's like, yeah, but it ain't right. It ain't for me. I didn't make that. They made that.
Yeah, that's
like
amazing.
that blew me as a science geek, science nerd. That blew my mind.
Nah, that
I was
doesn't make though. They had their own
that's
tech.
so dope.
Bro, he said they found him. He said, yo, no, they found me.
Because time works
I'm like,
different
yo,
in the
that's
quantum
crazy.
realm.
Like, they was looking for him
They
the
was
whole
there
time.
for already a thousand years because they went through a different port through the quantum realm when they was falling through. That's so dope. Like,
Yeah, that's amazing, bro.
damn, imagine.
But look at the stuff he had them doing though before they left. When he was building the whole.
How about when they first get there, right? Ant-Man and Scott and his daughter Cassie. He's like, why is that sun moving? and then, right, and he's coming towards them, and then it's a sun, but it's alive.
Yeah.
And it was like a fire, but it wasn't that big like the sun,
Yeah,
so it was
but it
mad
was
smaller.
definitely
But
different.
it was big enough that he had to turn to Giant Man
Yeah,
and
it was
stop it,
amazing.
like,
Yeah, it was
and then like
amazing.
tie it up, throw it. Right? That was mad cool.
That part was cool.
And then when the people ran down on
I was about to say that. I loved the way the people looked. The guy he reminded me of Korg in his own way, but he was dope character. The beams had like that shit was mad
The light
different.
head
You don't
guy,
see no
yeah.
creatures like this nowhere. So it was like wow, like that's what they did with this, and then they was useful too. You know?
And then the blob nigga, right?
Yeah, mad funny.
My son wanted to have holes, right?
Yeah, he did his thing too.
Look at this. I just found this. So, the guy that was like, "This Drushtarum,"
Yeah.
right? He
Oh,
was
that's
like,
him?
the one that was like, he was like, "It sounds like." Well, actually, the one that was like, "Baba Yaga."
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
Baba
yeah,
Yaga.
yeah.
Him, this guy right here. He voiced Blob.
That's fine.
That's mad dope because remember they it was told that none of them three was gonna be in the movie. The Friends,
Yeah.
him, T.I.'s character,
Exactly.
and Luis, and that's his character's name.
I'm glad he had some type of, you know. Because they was useful characters too.
That was. I feel like that was like.
I wish they still
a
would've had
funny
them
ass
in it.
character right there.
Yeah, I wish they would have had T.I. and them still in there though, like just a fan service, but it wasn't needed and they didn't mess that up.
It really
still
didn't.
was good. Had enough humor that because the main character Ant-Man, he does his thing already with the humor, right?
It was just no way. The fact that they went in there so quick off rip.
There's no room for it. They
There's no room
enforce
for it.
it.
Yeah, so
They
you would be
enforce it.
forcing it at this point. Well, you could have did a post or mid credit
Yeah.
scene, but
Or at the end.
the two that they gave was to set up future things. You know. for-
Exactly, and it was cool. Like definitely was enjoyable.
That's crazy how the buildings was alive and all that, right?
Yeah.
You know, everything was alive in the quantum realm. Like, I ain't gonna lie, quantum realm.
Quantum realm is pretty dope.
It's really its own different type of universe.
It reminds you of.
right?
It does remind you of space because it's tricky, but it's different, man.
Nah, why Janet Van Damme was getting around though, right, in the quantum realm?
Yo,
Like,
she
she
was
let
over around.
Bill Murray character slam OD.
Nah, that ass though. But my son Ant-Man was doing his thing out down here too, man. He was out here.
The original Ant-Man?
Yeah, he
What's
was
it,
like,
Hank?
yeah, he was like, listen, man, I had my time. She wasn't you, baby.
He bodied
did
that.
mad smooth. That's always a smooth OG.
That's my son
Fuck
too.
with
I ain't gonna
bro.
lie.
Nah, he
Michael
do his
Douglas,
thing.
that's my son. Ain't gonna lie.
Do his thing, bro. Useful character.
That ass. They bodied that, picking him to be him.
And the Wasp, she was good too, man. They just gotta stop cutting these girls' hairs and shit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Tired of that
It
look.
looked a little different.
It's like, why y'all keep doing that for? Like, she was very pretty and attractive in the last one.
Back to MODOK. I like that MODOK didn't wear the mask for the rest of the.
That was mad cool to me too. That they showed
Yeah.
that his face. I like this character too. I like what he did. He didn't do too much, but he also was, you know, he was there. He has a little fight scene with the daughter.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
That gave me like, all right, let them get their little shine right there. They got it.
Nah, he was definitely a threat the
No, he
whole
was a
movie
threat.
until she folded him. After that, then you
No,
knew
no,
it
of course,
was
but
him.
like they didn't like abuse him and
Nah, they
really,
didn't.
you know, he was like his little Nimian.
And it was it was definitely dope how to me it was a funny ass joke when he was like, yeah, I'm so happy I could die an Avenger, right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah, that was a
they
great
look
one.
at each other like,
That was a great one too.
who said you are one?
Yeah.
But you're not gonna tell him that he's not dying. He just
Nah, they
helped
played
us.
the long. He like,
That's at least. He
said he's definitely in.
No, yeah, Ant-Man was like, yeah,
said
sure,
in.
you're definitely in.
Nah, he does. Granted him Avenger.
That's mad funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good joke.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was cool too, how, because you forget in movies, and they slip like that in certain movies. Not them, not like MCU shits, but like a lot of movies, they'll slip and forget that everyone don't know because you already introduced it to one person. They kept on, whoever ran into him was like, Darren? And it was like,
yeah,
I was like, yo, that's true. They didn't see him yet.
Nah, yeah, it was OD. They all knew him. Like, and he was like trying to poke his chest out so bad. He just wanted to prove himself. He like, yeah, like he was wearing it like it's me, and like he mad strong now, Mordok now. Like that shit was.
But they
crazy,
wasn't
bro.
really moved by it.
Yeah,
though.
they're
It
like,
was
what? Like, where you been, man? Like everybody like, haven't seen him in mad long. Like,
no,
regular
actually, other
Joe.
stuff like, what happened to you?
It was crazy, yo.
You know, but Kang, before we end this out, Kang, I know I say he wasn't as threatening as
But that don't take away
Thanos, but
from
that
him.
don't take away the performance that Jonathan Majors did.
No, he did great.
And I ain't even gonna lie, woo, that boy can act.
No,
I mean,
he
I've been
can
knew
act,
he can
yeah.
act, but it's just
I like
damn.
how they did. I like what they did with him. I liked. He did give me like an inviting. That's probably what it was too with him. He was so inviting at first because he was even swindling Wasp mom. So
Janet,
it
yeah.
makes sense. Like as the crowd, he's swindling all of us. He seems
Yeah.
like a nice Joe, but he had bad intentions. You can tell. And
Once she touched that
you
ship.
felt it, yeah. And then from that point on, it was a turn. It was like, yo, this is Kang. Like, and even when he finally put a suit on, like, you like, what you talking about? You going somewhere? He was like, wilding.
Nah,
like, I'm
yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
this nigga's different, bro. Like,
Nah, yeah.
you could felt it. Like,
Nah, yeah, you could.
you could tell
You
Ant-Man
can
and
tell
them
it was just the
he was trouble
introduction
for them. Like,
yeah, because like I said, it was
Yeah.
the introduction for me.
Exactly.
But after that, he like you feel it. Like once he starts like
yeah,
getting
you
into
start
his
knowing like,
role,
nah, this nigga's bad.
Yeah.
But also, I just felt in my heart he was the perfect villain to I guess this type of Kang because I know there's multiple variants of him, so I'm still interested in him. Like I know it could be up from here, but I feel like another stronger Avenger would have took him out easily, like a Thor. Even though he said he killed Thor,
Yeah.
that shit threw me off. But like, even though he said that, I'm like, I know my Thor from this one, or I know Hulk. Like I know these people are giving him a lot of trouble. Like
remember, this is him. He's basically handicapped in this
I get
movie.
that. That's what I'm saying.
'Cause He's
I
stuck
can
down there
understand
and he
that
got
too.
his full powers.
Exactly.
He can't travel, time travel. He can't teleport.
That's what I'm saying.
really.
I could get that too.
Yeah.
So I also said I'm still intrigued by his multiple variants in him. So
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be up from here. Other characters gonna cause chaos, and like, oh shit, I can't believe I felt this way about him.
Yeah.
But from right now, I was like, damn, I feel like niggas could have took him out, somebody else.
I'm not gonna lie.
If he came to Earth with that bullshit and
no,
niggas Spider-Man or somebody would have took him out, bro.
Steve Rogers would have been down there stuck.
Exactly.
He would have folded that man.
Yeah, like
that man right there, handicapped, like without his full power.
Even with the turn the shit on with the Buster, you had his shield, he would have fucked him up, bro.
Cap would have folded that man.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, but it was still good. You know, not taking nothing from Ant-Man. Ant-Man did his thing.
But he started doing what Jean Grey was doing, right? When she was turning to a Phoenix, like he started
he started
evaporating everybody.
He started getting mad powerful. Like it started wilding. I'm like, yo, you starting to see the tech from the Lokis and the shit from the 10 Rings. It give you that vibe too. Because I still feel like that's a connection.
Once you see
it,
like you see how his temple look in the quantum realm. You know, like, all right. Well, you feel like that. You feel like
your fortress is crazy. He's a little ahead of time.
It looked like the 10 Rings for sure, and the way the Bengals light up is the same color. So like that gives you that. The fight. How you feel about the fight between them? The last fight though.
The last fight, I felt like
did it make you like be like ooh?
Nah, yeah.
It was just like
it was a little quick as far as because from the trailer it showed me, you know, the way they connect stuff. You know, he stepped on the shield and the blood and everything. I thought he really got in Ant-Man's ass, but. He did though.
No, yeah, he was folding him for like a strong 20, 30 seconds straight, and it was like when he was on the floor and he just kept on punching him in the face.
Like that was a good fight that we need. And that was after the Ant situation, so I was mad happy. Like as a fan, they did great with that. And then Ant-Man, you know, he rose to the occasion. He did what he had to do as needed, you know. But he do got to step his hands.
I like how Ant-Man was on his bullshit looking for him. He turned big, running through the Quantum City, and he was like. Okay.
Yeah, he was on hot.
Where you at? You got a deal.
It just shows me how good he is too, because even the part when his cells was separated, or not even his cells, the chances of him, and it was just the whole probability of him, and it was like so many Ant-Mans just coming out of nowhere, like, and it was like they was getting his way, honestly. But he did his thing.
No, it's a probability storm. That's what it was called.
Yeah, it was getting carried away from him.
Crazy,
and he really fought through that shit, and they all got on the same page. I'm like, Ant-Man's really a powerful dude, bro. Like, as his person, like, it was fire. Like, he's got to step his game up. He's still kind of rookie Avenger, so.
He definitely a big deal.
But that was fire. That was fire movie, bro.
Him and his daughter turned big. That was a cool moment.
That was great too. She did mad good too.
That
was
a really good moment.
I was like, nah, wow.
I think she punched this nigga in the face dumb hard. She punched him dumb hard.
Dumb hard. That shit was like a little ruthless. Like I ain't see that. Like that was OD of a punch. Like
what else?
He did that to Kang too. Right? When he was mad big, I think when he ran down on him.
I think so. Yeah.
He punched Kang mad hard too.
They had a good fight. I ain't gonna lie. I liked how the end, like he just knew what he had to do. That's like real Avenger-ish right there. You feel me? He just put all the big ones and the small the pin particles that you throw.
He was like
he put a whole bunch of them together and it's like boom with the ball, and then
he also is a smart guy. That's why I like him, because he's like he's not like genius like these niggas, but he's mad smart though, bro. Yeah. He's not dumb like.
Yeah, he's a hacking.
He's just he's just a fuck up. But he's mad. Well, at least he was a fuck up before. Like he mad smart though. Bro.
He was a big deal. Asset, definitely. But the fight was cool to me. I enjoyed it enough. I ain't gonna lie, because the people made it seem like it was super short. But it was valid enough for me. It was fair because it was Ant-Man. He had to do what he could and get out of there.
At the same time, I was about to say that they had to get out. Let's not forget the urgency of getting out of there. That was like the biggest deal, and they trying to leave his ass in there. Yeah. We got to get out of here, bro. Like,
my opinion, I think he's definitely just got shrunken.
Yeah, I feel like he's valid.
Whatever he got pulled into, I don't think he died that version of him.
Oh, hell no.
Because that's King right there. Yeah. That's King the Conqueror. Yeah. So that's like the most famous king. So you're not going to kill him off. Even though there's mad variants, but I believe he, full circle, King's Dynasty, he'll be the one to come back.
Probably the one that come back.
And then with his full power. And then
his plan. You right?
Be like, y'all bugging, I thought I was done. Now I'm going to fight y'all. And he's like a war on kings, and the Avengers is trying to stop it.
I like that. That sounds like the direction they might just go. Also, but Wasp, we didn't get to elaborate on that. How you feel about her? Like she did her thing in this? Or?
I think she did her thing a lot, and honestly, people also made it seem prior before I went to go see it. And I seen it open night, but they got like the early reviews and stuff. They were saying that she was barely in the movie and all this, but every time she was in the movie, she did her thing. She saved Ant-Man from the probability storm.
Facts. And she saved him when Kang was folding him.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. She went back in there. She started getting it with him. They both jumped him, and then that's like.
She said, she risked her own life. She got stuck there too with him, and then that's when the door opened.
She bodied that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they did their thing, bro. And it's funny because they hated his guts the whole movie, but she really loved that. She really loved Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That shit was like fire romance. What they did with that.
I like their little romance.
Yeah, me too. Because you know, it's like she's just holding her dad down, like
Yeah.
kind of at the end of the day. Because son be doing dumb shit, bro. Ant-Man be doing dumb shit. Nah, but that shit was pretty cool.
How you feel about the before we get out of here? How you feel about the post credit scene and mid credit scene? So the first one was the one with
yeah, with all the kings, they was talking.
Yeah, that was the first one. One with all the kings, the King Council.
And then there was the other one was...
And then the second one was Loki Season 2, basically preview.
Right, but King also.
But yeah, another thing with King.
I mean, it just made me feel like, that gives you the comfort, like, I know they didn't really beat him, so it's kind of like a Thanos thing, but I'm still interested to see because I already seen Kang one time in Loki. So this version of him, this was a different... He told them in Loki, he told us, like, yo, you kill me, I gotta worry about other ones. And that one was deadly, but it showed me it's a lot of kings.
Nah, that
was
not
crazy. Just a little bit.
It was a coliseum of kings.
Yeah, like they all was laughing and bugging out and like tweaking. They all was doing the same thing, but looked like totally different kings. It was weird.
So they got Ramatut, Immortus, and I think it's the Scarlet Centaurian.
And then I don't know.
Those are the first three that was talking amongst each other.
Yeah, the one that like the Egyptian and.
So the one that looked like the Egyptian, that's Ramatut.
Right, I know. I figured that.
The one that's and they saying he might be the villain for
King Dynasty.
No,
Secret.
Moon Knight Season 2. Since that's Egypt, and that's his throne. They're saying he's gonna be the very
that'd be
and the
fire.
villain in there. And then the other one, the one that was talking, the main one, with the way he had like blue face. I don't know why they changed it blue though. They didn't have to do that. But that's Immortus. You feel me? And then they have the other guy. He was the Scarlet Centaurian. He don't look nothing like how he looks in the comic. But what they wanted to do with him.
It was crazy what I seen the king.
They like three famous kings. Not off of that's all.
Yeah, the king that was in the movie now, right? King the Conqueror.
Yeah.
They had the one looking like him, but his face was just like way deformed and like looked like a mummified a little bit. His face. Or just like a creature, like a zombie or something. You know what I mean? You see, it was like the same king.
Oh, no.
Conqueror, suit, everything. But his face was mad, beat up and bad. Like, he like a creature or something.
I think, if I'm not mistaken,
that shit was
I heard
intimidating.
that was
that shit was dope.
like a Kree version of him.
They showed him, he was like in the Coliseum.
Or
But
like a scroll or something. A scroll of him. I heard something like that.
That shit was different,
yeah.
bro. That shit was different. I'm like, nah, they showed a lot of different versions of him. And then the other scene with Loki, obviously they showed, you said that's Prom King, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The second. So
he seemed like
That's the second post credit scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's supposedly I didn't know about it. They saying that he's called Prime King, so that he's the one that went all the way back in time to the early 1900s, because he was a failure in his time. So he went back and tried to like make things right. And he became like a philosopher or whatever.
It makes sense because he give that vibe. He sound like he's swindling. He didn't sound that confident.
So that king right there, they saying also might be
the villain for something.
He might be the one that we seen die in Loki season 1, but at a different point in time when he was younger.
Okay.
Because remember, he was at that in time. He didn't have all this power.
That makes sense too. They probably just went back.
Yeah.
But then again,
he could go wherever he wants. You feel me? So like, this is him at an earlier point in his life before he became he who remains.
Nah, he got too many variants.
It's crazy. They gotta start like really connecting it for us.
They do.
But we just hit like the 30-minute mark, so we just gonna wrap it up right there. That was a good talk though. I feel like it had a lot of good.
I can tell by it's been a little while, and we still had the same enthusiasm about it. The movie was good.
I don't think it was a top 10 movie of the MCU, but I could see it being like in the upper top. Well, if there's 31 right now, I think it's like at least top 16, halfway.
I can say this much: out of the new movies that's been coming out, this was definitely up there. Like, this was better than the last Thor and stuff like that. And it was definitely, like I said, it gave me the same feel as excitement, enjoyment as Black Panther. Like, I'm like, this was really good. And then, I don't know, like Doctor Strange obviously was Doctor Strange, but this wasn't too far. This is what we needed to see.
Yeah, facts.
For it to be the Quantum and bring up Kang and everything, I feel like it was good.
Yeah.
He held it, he did his thing.
I just wanted it, like my expectations was high. That's why, but even with them being that high, I still enjoyed the movie while seeing it. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, this is like battles right now. I ain't gonna lie, like it was just so much to see. Like it was
the graphics, everything. It was cool. You gotta appreciate it for everything all around. And all Ant-Man's movies are like that. So this was definitely to me the best Ant-Man.
Nah, yeah, for sure.
Like so. that goes a long way. The Ant-Man 1 was bad good. But you
So,
already know.
y'all heard it here. Let us know in the comment section. Smash that like button like Hook.
Please.
Subscribe. Please subscribe. Help us get to 200 subscribers. We are the Assemblers. I'm Sluggy.
Real.
And until next time, assemble time.
It's about that time. Assemble and talk. No cap. It's a civil war. You thinking you worthy. You feeling like door. Smash that like button like Hook. Yeah.